Nim sang as she did her chores. She didn't know how Alex would beat the bad guys, but she knew she would. She did her charts and cleaned the hut, dusted, shook, and swept, got new palm fronds to make Alex's bed, arranged seashells around the coconut pearl and her mother's picture. She weeded and watered the vegetable garden, ate 2 bananas and some peas for lunch, and dug up their sweet potatoes and picked a lettuce, an avocado, and tomato, and 3 handfuls of strawberries for later. Then she flopped into the pool for a rest and a bath, and she and Fred watched the birds overhead. They were flying inland as if it were night. Something was wrong. Back at the beach, the sea lions were honking and restless, and Fred's friends were zipping over the rocks. Even the oldest scuttling like hatchlings. Selkie was by the hut, barking anxiously for Nim. 2 more gulls flew past, then a frigate bird. "Gallio," Nim called, running to the hut for Tropo Torsaf. "You have got something for me?" The big bird swooped, grabbed the starfish, and let Nim pull down a note from his fan. "Dear Nim, the birds say there's a storm coming. Go to the emergency cave. Take the phone, laptop, solar panel, battery, charger, and other scientific equipment, and whatever else you have time for. But you are the only thing that matters. As soon as you see the storm coming, drop everything and go get to safety. If I can beat the storm, I'll be home tonight or early tomorrow. Love as much as Jack loves Nim, Jack." Nim stared up at the sky. It was clear and blue, but the air was so still and heavy on their skin. She knew that the birds were telling the truth, and she knew what she had to do. Jack said. Nim didn't like the emergency cave, but it was better than storms. And it was much better than being on a boat in a storm. And much, much better than being on a boat in a storm where you don't know what the storm is coming. "I've got to warn Alex," said Nim, and dialed the number. Alex answered on the second ring. "I've learned to sail and I'm on my way. I just cast off from the Tropitor ship." "Get back on it," Nim begged. But a roar of the engines drowned Alex's answer. And when the noise faded into the distance, Alex was saying, "I can see a dot where your island is. I should get there quickly. The captain told me there'd be some wind soon." "It's not wind," Nim shouted. "It's a storm." And then the satellite dish on the Tropitor ship was too far away, and Alex's phone went dead. Nim dropped her phone into the wagon. She tucked the coconut pearl in her pocket and pulled down the satellite dish and solar panel. She loaded a picture of her mother and the flashlight, battery, charger, laptops, and satellite dish into her wagon and tied the solar panel on top. Fred climbed on top of that and nearly tipped it all over. "Walking's good for you," Nim told him, lifting him down before he tipped it back the other way. "Meet us at the emergency cave," she called Selkie. Chica would be safer on the sandy sea bottom of Turtle Beach, but the sea lions can't stay underwater forever. Besides, if she couldn't have Jack, Nim wanted Selkie in a storm. At the hissing stones, she had to leave the wagon and carry everything over the black boulders to the cave. The dark gray and swirling, the gentle breeze jumped into a full force gale, and Alex felt like the hero in the legend who let the winds escape from the bag they were trapped in. That is when she remembered she left her life jacket on the ship. "I'll tie myself to the mast," but before she could reach it, the rain started. Like being in a car wash, Alex thought, without a car. The mast suddenly seemed a long way away, but Alex beside her was metal ring with a rope through it. Alex yanked the rope free and tied one end to the other ring and the other around her waist. Then there was nothing to do except try to steer and wonder whether the rope she'd pull off was important and if it mattered anyways. When the boat was balancing on skyscraper-high waves, maybe they weren't quite as tall as skyscrapers. Maybe they weren't much higher than a cottage. Tall enough, thought Alex as she roller coasted from one to the next. A fork of lightning exploded into a wave. A crash of thunder hit her ears like a boxer's punch. Alex threw herself under her stomach and clung to the tiller. Then when his next waves under her, the wind was. Let me show you guys. Can you stretch? Okay. I'm just checking something. Ready? Howling and hurling her toward the smudge of Nim's Island, faster than a city train, Alex guessed. She couldn't decide whether that was a good thing or not. When she sent him avenging, terrified thrill ashore, he was going to die, and so alive he never wanted to stop. Crack! Her sails blowed like balloons. The mast lifted and toppled off the boat. There was a sad flap of white in her mast, and sails sank up. So now it's a rowboat, Alex decided. She pretended that she was her hero because he wouldn't mind that his computer and suitcase had washed overboard and were at the bottom of the ocean. He wouldn't even be scared when he saw that the mast had taken a chunk out of the bottom of the boat, and as a going-away present, the sea was coming to take its place. A hero would simply take off his hat and bail. So that's what Alex did. The problem was, even when she was being a hero, the waves were still monstrous. The rain was still pouring, and the wind was still roaring, and each time they slammed across a wave, more of the wave came into the boat, and no matter how fast she bailed, less of it went out. The hole was getting bigger, and it got the faster the water poured in, and the faster the water poured in, the bigger the hole got. And the bigger the hole got, the faster the boat sank, as it was tired of being a boat and wanted to try being a submarine. And Alex was still tied firmly to it. If only she'd been a brownie, she muttered frantically, trying to untie it and pulled the tight rope. I learned a lot to tie reef knots, whatever kind of knot is you can untie when you need to. She tried to undo the knot around her waist first, but when she pulled it so tight she could hardly breathe, she gave up and worked on the other end. She tried with her fingers, she tried with her teeth, she tried spluttering and choking because now the knot was quite a long way underwater. Which is where I'm going to be too, Alex thought. Even if she didn't much like being the top bit of the ocean, she thought she'd like the bottom even less. Okay, that's all we're reading tonight, so bye!